education, human rights, duty of care, and that alone will always be the kind of values that we'll grow up with, such that we can have a society. All these 2 plus 2, 2 times 1 to what is chemistry, all those ones just going to make your brain active. But what will be content of that brain? That one is to exercise the brain. But what will be inside the brain? You understand? The content that will be inside the brain are the values that our educational system imputes. You have to know how to care. But you will grow up. You won't believe it. It is when I grew up I realized that I actually taught jargon, because there was nowhere where our teacher would tell us that when somebody is in pain or somebody slumps on the road, you should call 911 or you call emergency number. They stop our learning when it gets to that stage. They won't tell us how to care for another person. They only teach us 2,000. It's only exercising the brain. But what will give content that the brain actually needs to be able to peacefully coexist as a human, it's not there.
We don't have an educational system in Nigeria. I say it anywhere somebody asks me, I tell them we don't have an educational system in Nigeria. Because what we teach, education is supposed to be what, at least something that should teach you about the core values of human life, how to coexist and how to do. But these things are not taught. They just put this, everything is all about money.
We're going to go back to that. To be honest with you. We're going to be campaigning for that, because it's the right of every child.
But in Nigerian society today, we don't longer care about value. We don't longer care about morals. That's why you see where people are talking about brand ambassadors. They are looking at people who come to Facebook or social media to expose themselves and sing nonsense. The ones that are doing something that are meaningful, sending the message, educating people, they don't value them. You see the lives of sometimes you begin to cry for our nation. You cry. And so sometimes when I sit down, sometimes I'm thinking, the children coming later with all this kind of nonsense that they are hearing. It's only God that will deliver us.
The point is, it's a collective effort. We, particularly, I always say to those that care to listen, that those of you that have been opportune to live in a society where they have a valuable and quality education, where all you're enjoying, irrespective of Black Lives Matter and so on and so forth, you're still enjoying the fact that human rights is why you're still living in that society and enjoying some level of freedom. In Nigeria, it's a different ballgame. No life matters when it comes to the Nigerian police. I don't care who you are, your life doesn't matter. So it's even a different ballgame where you can imagine you have to set up a campaign for yourself against yourself in your own country. That is the awkward situation anybody can be in. It's still different. It's still different when you're in a foreign land and you needed a campaign to say, okay, Black Lives Matter. You want them to sink in, like, you just have to accept us. But how do you put up a campaign for your own brother? How do you explain to him that, is it I matter or we matter or Nigerians matter?
Very funny anyway, very funny. That's why I've been laughing since I've been seeing some protests in Nigeria, protesting about the killing in the US, when they cannot even protest about their own brothers and sisters that is being killed in their country.
Exactly. Even if they protest, the fact remains that, let us be honest with ourselves, Nigerians,
we're live.
Okay.
So we're going to be playing Send Down the Rain by Majek Check, just to honor him. He's definitely a legend. He has really done a lot for us as a nation, and I think as a race also.
Exactly. And so continue to rest in peace.
May he so continue to rest in peace, yes. And may his family, his children find comfort during this period.
Amen.
Man, raw talent. The last time I saw him on stage, I think about 10 years ago. It was a joy.
So as you're joining us, kindly click that share button. Let's get more people in this forum. Let's get more people into this conversation. Let's not be shy. Let us know where you're also watching us from. Let us know where you're watching us from. We're going to be reading out your comments, and this is a conversation forum. So we want you to comment on the topic, on the subject. If you have a question, don't be shy, ask away. So we're going to listen to Magic Patrick Send Down the Rain and wait a few minutes while we share to our family and friends and get more people in the forum. Thank you. Down the rain. Welcome, Kemi from Oklahoma City. Welcome, Moni from Manhattan. Welcome, Taiwo from Brampton. Welcome. Thanks for joining, guys. Let's click that share button to get more people into the forum. Let's click that share button. Welcome. Let us know where you're watching us from. Don't be shy. And I want to say thank you once again as you're joining us. I know normally we come on Fridays at 6 p.m., but this is an impromptu program today. We have two lovely and handsome guests. We'll be introducing them a bit later. But that's why we had to come in on Tuesday. But I'm sure you're still going to enjoy the program today. And of course, we're still going to be back again on Friday. That one is for sure. But as you're joining, don't be shy. Let us know where you're watching us from. Don't worry, we're not coming home to your house to eat. We just want to know where you're watching us from. We know the world is a global village. And then, of course, kindly click that share button so that we can get more people into this platform. We can get more voices. We don't want to just hear our voices alone, our thoughts, but we want to hear your thoughts concerning the topic today, which is on politics and humanity. I know some people will be like, politics and humanity, do they even correlate? Yes, they do. Oh my goodness, they correlate so hand in hand. And if you do not know, well, that's why you need to be here. You need to know that politics and humanity correlate. So I want to say thank you once again. And hey, click that share button. Let's get more people into this forum. In between, I'm definitely going to be talking about my product. I always mention my new product. It's my lash line, which is called Ade Babes. Go to www.adebabes.com. That's ADEBABES.com and grab some eyelashes. If not for you, for your sister, your mother, or a friend, grab some eyelashes. And also on the website, if you're trying to start an online business, you can definitely grab an online business ebook about drop shipping, and you can definitely find ebook also on vendors lists, depending on if you're looking for lash line vendors, you're looking for clothing vendors, shoe vendors, jewelry vendors, and you want to get into the e-commerce market. It's a hot thing right now. So get on adebabes.com and grab your ebook on those, and also grab an eyelash while you're at it. So the month of June, we're having 50% off on all items for the whole month of June. So I need you guys to go on the website and grab as much as possible. Don't be selfish. Don't grab for yourself alone. Don't forget those who are also celebrating their birthdays in the month of June or anniversaries in the month of June. You can also deliver as a gift or present it as a gift. So of course, while we're still on our advert, we want to also talk to you about if you want to send money from Canada to Nigeria. We have a very reliable source. It goes by the name TJ Ottawa. So you can WhatsApp him on 613-416-4022. Again, that's 613-413-4022. You can give him a call, but I'm sure WhatsApp is always better for those who are not in the city of Ottawa, in the province of Ontario. So he's very reliable. It doesn't matter the amount you want to send, he's going to be able to do that guaranteed for you. And don't forget to mention where you got it from Adiba Connector TV show, or just mention Adiba, and then he will be giving you a discount. Don't forget that. So while we're there, I'm going to be showing you a bit later on. We have an advert about Just One Realtor. Just One Realtor is a real estate investment company in Nigeria. If you're looking into purchasing a land or just buying out already good to go apartments, definitely check them out. On Instagram is Just One Realtor. I'm going to be showing a little clip of the buildings, their homes. But if you want to give them a call, it's 234-070-6479-5097. Or you can definitely send me a message and I will give you a direct link. Or when you do message them on WhatsApp or Instagram, don't forget to mention Adiba, just so that you can get that beautiful discount. Who doesn't love a discount? I do. I love a discount. So we're back with our guests, and we have, of course, Mr. Austin Aiworo, and then we also have Mr. Yomi Fabiyi. We'll be introducing them shortly, but yet alone, let's not forget our topic today is on politics and humanity. Oh, yes. Let's click that share button. Let's get more people into the forum. Don't mind me. I'm going to lean over for a minute just to get everything going. I'm trying to share with my friends also so that they can join the conversation. conversation. So kindly do that. Give me like a minute or two. We're gonna dive right in. In the meantime, hey, let's go back to Mr. Majek Fashag. May his soul continue to rest in peace, and may God continue to give his family strength through this time. We just want you guys to watch a little clip on one of our adverts, paid adverts on Just One Realtor, the real estate investor. 1 second. Maybe we'll get back to that later. Seems to be giving us difficulties. So in the meantime, let's get back to that later. Sorry. So welcome B Pray Sax. We welcome Kevin. Money Love, welcome all those who are watching us, welcome. Don't forget to click that share button. So in the meantime, we're gonna start. Oh Lord, 1 second, guys. So it's playing when I didn't want it to play. Sorry, 1 minute, guys. So in a few minutes, you're gonna see our advert on Just Realtor. It is playing when I didn't want it to play. Now I want it to play. It is not playing. Okay, so in the meantime, let's go back to our subject, which is, of course, humanity and politics. So our two guests will be discussing on how and humanity and politics, how they merge, how they make sense, and how it's one-on-one. Here we go again. It's not playing when I needed it to play, so we're gonna leave it for now. Okay, so we're gonna talk about how humanity and politics play hand in hand, and you cannot have politics without thinking of humanity. You can't downgrade humanity all in the name of politics. It plays hand in hand, and we definitely want you guys to comment on what your thoughts are, what your beliefs are, and do you believe that for one to be a great leader, to be able to go into politics, they have to definitely think their number one goal is about humanity and how they could be a leader to the people, of the citizens of the nation, of the country, the community in which they choose to lead. Do you see it as a requirement? Is it a must? Or what are your thoughts? What do you think about it? But in the meantime, I'm going to be introducing you to one of our guests, which is Mr. Austin Aiworo. Welcome, Ayodele. Welcome, Ayodele. Let us know where you're watching us from. So, Mr. Austin Aiworo is size, am I right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah. So, and he definitely a patriot. Is one that he has passion for the country of Nigeria. He has passion for the people of Nigeria, and of course, the Black race. And he would definitely want to see some changes with the way the system is running, the government is running, the citizens, and same as we want to see changes. But living as Nigerians in diaspora, what do we need to do, or do we even have to do anything? Do we need to go back home? What are the steps that we need to take while we're in where we are trying to make a better living? What can we do to help those who are already or they're living in Nigeria presently? And of course, we have none other than Mr. Yomi Fabiyi, who is a great, great, great ambassador, human rights ambassador, all around the world, not just based in Nigeria. And he's also a great actor and, of course, a film producer. And then not just the fact that he is a human rights ambassador, he also has a foundation called Break the Silence. Break the Silence Foundation, whereas they mobilize, they put things in action, and then educate citizens on what they need to protest for, what they need to ask the government for. You know, not just to be quiet and just take it as it is, the way it's been given to them, but as citizens, what their rights are, what they're supposed to be demanding as citizens of the nation. And like, we can't even say any more than that, because not just being able to think about human rights, but to be able to put it in action, not just in diaspora, but right there in the land where we're talking about, Nigeria. It's such a bold move, and he's using his platform for something positive. And we know right now the way, how do I explain it? The way a lot of celebrities use their platforms, they use them in a lot of negative ways just to get attention to their own personal self. But he uses his platform to want to bring justice into the nation of Nigeria. And I believe that's one of the greatest things you can do as a celebrity, using your platform for positiveness. So we want to welcome both Mr. Austin and Mr. Yomi Fabiyi. Welcome, 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 guys. What would you like to say? Would you like to introduce yourself? If I didn't introduce you well enough, please, the floor is open. And of course, we're gonna have our guests, our followers are going to be asking questions. So I might interrupt you once or twice just to get their questions out there or the comments out there. But yes, the floor is all yours. Let us know what your thoughts are, what your visions are in regards to politics, in regards to humanity. What do you want to see change?
You mean me?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much for having me, Anita. Thank you, my brother there. Thank you so much for coming on the show as well. And I just want to use this medium to express my deepest condolence to the family of George Floyd, to the family of Uwa in Nigeria. A lot of people are going through loads and loads of terrible things that avoidable deaths, and we tend to understand the fact that irrespective of the notion that everybody will eventually die, the fact remains that when we are alive, we should be able to, to be treated with dignity and respect. Even our bodies, when we are dead, still deserve the same respect and treatment. So by and large, it's an honor. It's an honor doing what I am doing and trying to see if I can, you know, contribute my quota into the sphere called this world. And through my country, through the work I do. And that is why it is always reflective in my movies. I ensure that I always, I put human rights on the front corner. And thank God, everything is going well, fine. So thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Austin.
Thank you very much for having me on the program. I say my very somehow mixed feelings for some couple of days now because of the news I heard from my states. The young beautiful lady that was just killed by some hoodlums who just went in this kind of state. I really wonder what men gain, what some men gain from just raping ladies, and it's really, really, really sad. And for the young man who was also begging for bread, killed by the US police, is really a pity. In a world where all lives are equal by the one that created everything, people just do this in here. That's why I always beg our people these days to be fully involved in politics. If you see in the world today, whether in the US or others, why we cannot really make anything, we cannot really push any difference now is that the people that are there will always want to go for their bidding, always want to take decisions that suit them. And until we all get involved and begin to think of putting an effective change, saying some, doing things that will benefit us as a people, we will just keep clamoring, we'll just keep protesting, we'll just keep doing it. After the protests, what do we do after then? We must get involved. You can't just only rely on protests every time. You need to take the right step. Be one of the people who will be part of the decision making in your country, in your community, in your villages, even if it's just in your streets. Fight to be one of the people who will be part of the ones that make decisions. And how do they do all this? People that do all this are the politicians. But I'm paying when we black people do not care about who govern us, who rule us, we don't care. What we only care about is to complain, lament every year, lament every time and every time. And whatever thing we say, whatever protest we protest, is not going to put any change. Because why? We are the one that has the will to change things. And how do you change things through? How do you change things? You get involved in the politics of your state, politics of your local government, politics of your country. Get involved and make the change from within. Thank you very much.
Very passionate. Definitely. So I will throw the question out to the both of you.
Okay.
Mr. Yomi, you can go first. My question now would be, for those who think that being in politics is always a bad idea, or the way politics on negativity, the way politics on this is Nigeria now, right? Nigerians, way politics on you have to get your hands dirty. What are your thoughts towards that? What do you have to say to them when it comes to, especially when you're a Christian? It's like, no, as a Christian, I can't, get into politics because my hands have to get dirty. Da, 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 da. What are your thoughts towards that? What do you have to say in regards to that?
Oh, that is a very, very salient question, a very important question, so to speak. The first thing I will say is this. Number one, we are all political animals. Number two, politics is everywhere. And number three, if you choose to stay back and not participate in politics or activities that will determine the future or the destiny of the collective in your society, then you probably be leaving it into the hands of those that you don't know anything about them. And whatever they give is what you're going to get. So basically, we just have to understand the context at which politics is being played in Nigeria, and we have to be factual with ourselves. Like I said, there is something that stands as the bedrock for everybody, whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, you're a pagan, you're Usa, or you're Igbo, you're anything. It's not religion. It's not politics. It's not that. The first thing that should be, and that should form our foundation, should be quality education. If irrespective of your tribe or the kind of religion or your faith, if we are all raised properly to understand that when you are best in a country and a society, the onus is on you to see how you will contribute to a quota to see that the society is working well for everybody. Then indirectly, you will be prepared to either participate individually or through politics or through NGOs. You cannot live in isolation. But in a situation whereby we are raised with the notion that we provide peace for ourselves, the government is almost going to be blank or absent. While we're growing up, our parents will source for our security, our food, our education, our health. They are relying solely on themselves to do all these things. What is going to the kind of politics is going to be very discouraging. Politics is not a business. It's about mankind. It is about trying to sacrifice yourself to serve your people, because everybody can't be doing it at the same time. And we just need representation to be there to take care of our commonwealth. And that is a very serious act that goes with a lot of. The point is, let me put it this way: the task attached and the responsibility, expectation attached to when you are in politics is so high. So it means that if your traditional system doesn't raise the right people, then your political terrain will be so dirty, so discouraging. And so that's what we have. We all should think back and see how we're being raised. How they put the life conveniently in front of children, they don't care. Parents, the life before the children, they don't care. And that is why it is that discouraging in Nigeria. But by and large, without politics, there's nothing we can do, because politics controls all aspects of human life.
Mr. Austin, what are your thoughts concerning that same question? Politics, individuals who are scared to go into it, or they say that they're too right, they're too just. They come from a Christian background. For you to get into politics in Nigeria, you gotta get your hands dirty. They don't want to get into it. What are your thoughts in regards to that?
But do you know the most painful thing? One thing is that according to even the Bible, for the Christians, the Bible said, my people are destroyed because of what? Because of the lack of knowledge. Even in church, there's politics. Even in our schools, there's politics. Everything you do today in life is centered around politics. You being able to convince people the numbers you need to buy into whatever you believe, to buy into any ideology that you believe. What is that called? That's politics. You be into somebody doing things. If you look to today, one of the biggest challenges we're having today as Nigerians is because we are a people who have totally left everything that has to do with our nation in the hands of some selected people who knows nothing at all or who even care about the people. Because you know why we sat down saying we don't want to be involved, we don't want to be involved. That's why Nigeria got to this situation, this stage where it is today. You know, when good people keep quiet and allow the evil people and allow people who don't know anything to begin to lead and make decisions, they are going to make decisions that suit themselves and not situations that suit you as a person. Why will you as a Christian think that politics is evil? The same thing you said is evil. The same people are not the one making decisions for you. They are not the one to decide whether you go out or not to go out, whether you go to church or not to go to church, whether you eat or not to eat. They are the one that decide the price of almost everything. They are the one that even, just look at this issue of this COVID-19 that just happened. Who made all the decisions? Our politicians. They are the one that told us when to be quarantined, when to stay at home, how long we are going to stay at home. They are the one that enforce us to be using face masks without even thinking about we breathing in the breath we are supposed to be breathing out. That thing is not also good for our health. But what did we do? We all listened to them. We couldn't do anything about it. Because why? We are not the ones to make the decisions. That's one thing I want our people to know. Because until our people get involved and begin to think about all it, and every time I think about my boss just said something about our education. Every day I tell people, the reason why our government is bastardizing our educational system in Nigeria is for people not to be able to know, so that they will keep being in slavery forever. There's nothing as worse like having the wrong education. It is better not to even have education at all than to have the wrong education, like what we have today in Nigeria, where they don't teach you anything in school about values. They don't teach you anything about how to coexist with anybody, with your neighbor, with even your community. They don't even teach you of how to save lives. The only thing they just go to tell you is 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is this, 8 + 3 is this. They don't tell you the importance of another life. They don't tell you the importance of even living a good life for even your community. So whatever thing we go to even do our school that the politicians do, when our government took away history from our school, we couldn't do anything. Because you know why? They are the one that take these decisions. When our government decided at a time where they were going to take religious studies from our school, we couldn't do anything, we couldn't say anything because we are not the one to make the decisions. When a lawmaker, about some months, I think about 2 or 3 months, no, about 4 months ago, before the COVID issue this year, precisely, a member from of our Federal House of Rep brought his 3 wives to the floor of the house, was beating his chest to be even saying, telling everybody in the floor of the house that this is his 3 wives, a lawmaker, and he has close to about 30 children. He's taking care of them. Nobody could say anything because those are the kind of leaders we have in Nigeria representing us. So you see them, they will keep making everything. Today in Nigeria, a governor takes close to about 600 million monthly as security votes in a country where there is no war. Me and you can't say anything because we are not involved. So if we must change everything that has to do with our country, if things must go right, we are the people to change it. We don't change it through protest. We must get involved with the decision making that has to do with our country. We must be involved in making decisions for ourselves. That's why these people try to make every political situation in Nigeria, political state so tense, to scare people for them not to get involved. It's a strategy. It's a political strategy. They try to make it so tense, make people scared for them not to get involved. Because when you are not involved, you will not be able to know how things are done. You just come, they'll just tell you. And one way I'm not really too happy with Nigerians. Nigerians are not even aware of anything. They are not aware. They are not concerned. Their only concern is to come and complain or to be calling you abroad. Sister, give me money and not in Nigeria, get the way it be. Brother, give me money, Nigeria, get the way it be. But every election here, you will see them showing one lousiness, showing one level of unconcern. They don't care about who leads them. They don't care about who gets to any position there. They just fold their hands because they are so dependent on money to come from abroad. And even them, they themselves also have a share of the blame. We are talking about in a country where things are not going well. You see, we are the only people, only race in the world where we give birth without having a plan. We are the only race in the world where we just do everything anyhow. We just believe on not living by the law. We just live without control, without having a plan, without having anything. And we don't know by ourselves that the government is not the people, not just only people who voted in position. We ourselves are part of the government. So we are also part of people creating problem for even the government. If you go to some states, just about this evening now in Nigeria, You see young children, small boys and girls roaming about on the street where they have parents that brought them into this world. People who know that they don't have what it takes to take care of 1 or 2 children. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children. Tell me one lawmaker in where you stay, one lawmaker that has more than even 10 children. Let me just use that word. But today in Nigeria, you see, and there are some parts even in the country where they make law to even sue themselves, where you see 9 years old, 11 years old, 13 years old, they are being given out in marriage. And they don't say anything about all this because me and you, we are not involved. They make decisions, they make laws to suit themselves. So we are the ones to get involved and begin to think about laws too that will suit us as a people, not law that will suit some kind of people, the cabal, where they just unpick. That's why if you see today, it is people that has been on our political stage since 1960. It has been recycling of leaders because why? The people have decided to fold their hands and not to get involved. The Buharis have been there for over how many years? The Obasanjos has been there for over many years. The Tunubus of this world has been there for over many years. The Atiku Abubakar has been there for over many years. Is it not a shame? The first time Buhari ruled Nigeria as a military president, he was just in his early 30s. And after his early 30s, he stayed over 30-something years to come back again as a civilian president. Until date, you now ask, what happened to the youth and the people that were giving birth to at that time? They fold their hand. And today, they are still serving the interests of even the oppressors rather than serving their own interests. It's really a shame. It's really sad sometimes when I think about the political.
Let me ask Mr. Yomi. Mr. Fabiyi, what do you have to say concerning what Mr. Austin said in regards to nobody is doing anything in Nigeria, no one is stepping up to the plate in regards to, we have recycled politicians, let me put it like that. We have recycled politicians who have been there from for ages. Are there any candidates in Nigeria that are trying to step up, like young generation, trying to step up the plate and change the narrative?
Yeah, my opinion about recycling is that is the normal terrain. That is the normal political terrain worldwide. If you look at America, if you look at the history of Joe Biden, you know, since he has been contesting, Barack Obama was a senator before he became a president. And then look at Hillary Clinton, from first lady to senator to Secretary of State, presidential aspirant, and what have you. It is always very important that politics, number one, to be honest, is a profession. What matters most, that what I'm going to advocate for, is that irrespective of the recycling that happens in some certain countries, they still get better. And it is because of a foundation. Because if the foundation is faulty, what can the righteous do? So basically, the fact remains that anybody that will come in now, irrespective of age, even if you are the new generation, we've seen lots of the new guys, young guys that are coming into politics now, and they are as corrupt as hell. They are not making impact. And the reason is because they are empty. And by and large, majority of us are empty. The few ones that want to contribute, the few ones that probably will have anything to offer, are also picking excuses. Because if you are just one person amongst them, then there is a serious fundamental problem. At the end of the day, we'll go accordingly. So my own opinion, my own suggestion is that we need to be encouraging. We just have to be encouraging the few ones that can go in and make positive changes gradually. Try to see if they can come in. We just have to keep encouraging the good ones amongst us to also put themselves down to serve. While we also collectively, including the bad eggs, consider the fact that we have a legacy, we have a role to play to the next generation. We need to set up a kind of a blueprint that will restructure the foundation, that every child that is birthed in Nigeria is going to be compulsory. You must have education. Whether you are brought in or you are born in Nigeria, you must have free qualitative education that will prepare that kind of a child, because any child birth today in the next 19 years will be in military, will be working in the hospital, will be working in all sorts of places. Nothing less than 20 or 70 million of them will be working in the next 19 years. But the fact remains that what we are injecting into them, what is available now, is not going to prepare them for that task 19 years to come. And that means that leads us to the fact that up to this moment, the crop of politicians, even those that are not in politics, those that are in religion, those that are pastors, those that are even in the medical line, those that shun politics, have got a voice. How many Nigerians have you seen clamor for national emergency number? How many Nigerians have you asked with a level of intelligence? How many of you have you seen? How many NGOs have you seen agitating for national identification, knowing fully well that with just national emergency number, it will reduce the spate of armed robbery, spate of kidnapping, spate of domestic violence. A lot of cases, a lot of women are being raped, a lot of women are being bastardized in homes, a lot of women will want to take a decision to walk away from a violent marriage, but they cannot go because the men will come after them and nobody will help. And you now realize the fact that look at the rate of people that live abroad, Nigerians that live abroad, rate of Nigerians that travel abroad. How many do you see, including those that condemn politics, how many do you see that will actually say, this is what we need as a nation now? We are all exposed and enlightened. What will it cost Nigeria to have a national emergency line? Because immediately it will respect the activities of politicians, police, medicals, everybody. Because you know, when you commit the crime, people have got a phone and they've got a phone to record you, and they've got a phone to call the police, the authority on you. The police themselves will start rearranging their philosophy and their services. The issue of Floyd, it would not have been, it would be the same ills, the same terrible brutality if there was no somebody recording that event. Do you know how many of such events that have gone unnoticed? So the fact remains that we have the technology now. We just have to understand the fact that we will keep encouraging people to come into politics. A lot of people will not be encouraged because politics is dirty, is business now, and it is about who is the highest bidder. But the few that can get into politics, they should. But what I think we need now is to encourage societal participation, NGOs. The pastors, imams should start engaging the people. They have the ears of the people. They should speak what politicians do not say. Inject it into your people. Give them value. Put materials, content into the brains of your followers. Then we can start having a society. Then we can start having better politicians. If you don't prepare people for politics, you prepare to get the wrong kind of politics. Because Nigeria is not preparing the right values in people that will be in politics now.
So do we have, thank you for that, do we have enough NGOs in Nigeria that are trying to push for justice, for better governance in the country?
The reason why we do not have is this. I need to really, I will say this, and I will want Nigerians in diaspora to accept this criticism as a constructive one, not because I am coming after them. Whether anybody likes it or not, over 140 million Nigerians are not exposed. If you go to the north, you will know what I'm talking about. If you go to my village, you will know what I'm talking about. But if I can have the eyes to my own village, and the other person in Canada, in America, that's got an opportunity to travel abroad, has got the eyes, the pathway to their own village, that is what should encourage the NGOs we're going to be talking about. You cannot be sending money to the people and you're not even trying to see how you can help them to improve their life mentally. You can only give them money to feed, but what you are trying to do, what you are exposed to in Canada, in America, in UK, are you creating time? Are you sacrificing time? If the whites will leave England, will leave US to come back to villages to support them, how much more you that actually you were part of that system, you were lucky to live. Why are you not looking back? Why are you not looking back and say, I know where I'm coming from? The body will be reduced if after all I have gathered, education-wise, exposure-wise, and I save towards this to educate and free these people. Nobody will free Nigerians if Nigerians are not ready to free their people. You're not lucky to travel abroad just because to escape. You were chosen for a task. And if you're there, you need to remember that the moment, if you are in elect in that country, look at what you can do to gather people to an NGO on electricity. If you are in the medical line, gather like minds that are from your village, that are in your own, that are in abroad. That, okay, you are in England, I'm in Canada, you are in US, you are in Italy. Can we go back home and form an NGO to educate our people on this particular health issue? If you are in education, what is the standard of education your child is being exposed to? Why is it that your child cannot lie? Why is it that your child is so brave? Why is it that your child is smart? Why is it that your child is inquisitive? Then you combine and then come back home and deliver back. The fact remains that despite the migration, the people that migrated from Nigeria don't look back. It was a different ballgame when they were taken forcefully as slaves. 240 years, they couldn't have means to come back. Now you have means to come back. You have means to communicate. Why are you acting as if your communication line has been broken? Why are you acting as if I am free? Because the moment a Nigerian steps the feet out of this country, they will tell you, I will never come back to Nigeria again. Thank God I am free. You're not free. You're not free until everybody is free. You're not free until everybody is secured. So it's still going to be your body. So I'm going to appeal in that aspect that we would need probably not even participation in politics, but in a lot of NGOs. That is when you develop the right people through the NGO to be in politics. We need to start rebuilding. And it is not straight into politics, because straight into politics with the right mentality that you have now is going to be same of the same. Same of the same. Trust me, my brother, my sister.
Hello.
Is it the network issue?
Hello.
Hello?
It's like it's a network.
A network.
Hello.
Hello?
She's on, isn't it?
I'll wait for her then.
And we just needs to stay on while she comes back. The situation is really is really.
No, give me a sec. Give me a sec. I'm coming. Give me a sec.
Hello.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Got disconnected. Okay. That was a lot to take in for a minute there. So, first of all, I want to say thank you for having your own foundation, the Break the Silence Foundation. It takes a lot to start that, to push it forward. I'm sure you're probably not getting as much support, Mr. Fabiyi, as you would love, but we pray and we hope that, you know, people are aware or become more aware of what you're doing and the change that we really, really need to start putting together. It's not so much about we need change, we need to do this, we need to do that. We know a lot of Nigerians that do like to complain about the not being comfortable in the nation of Nigeria. But as we all know, it's not just about complaining, it's about action, it's about what we need to do next, what needs to be done. And I believe your foundation is doing that, is really, really taking that step, that next step that it needs to be done. So as those of us that are in diaspora, Nigerian in diaspora, what would you actually say you would want us to do besides, because you know, it's not everybody that can just pick up their luggage and come back home, like you mentioned earlier, how a lot of the British, the Europeans pretty much came, they colonized us and try to do one thing or the other. But most of us can't really do that. So now having that extension of your foundation and any other foundation or non-government organization that is going to come into play, how, because one of the problem with living abroad is when we now say we want to donate money to a certain foundation, which a lot of those foundation or organizations are run by these European countries, we know most of that money is actually not put into where, you know, it's supposed to be put. It's going into people's pockets. So how are we guaranteed as Nigerians in diaspora put money into a proper a foundation organization, and how do we know they're doing what they're supposed to do with it? And I believe that's one of the fears in being a diaspora and donating money abroad, because we can't all just pick up our bags and come over back to Nigeria at the moment to
okay.
change.
Okay, first and foremost, everything is not about money. Everything is not about money. What we're looking at is a human. Basically, we are an internet whereby resources, I'm talking about abstract resources, talking about sharing of ideas, talking about probably a representative. It doesn't have to be an NGO owned by somebody here. What I mean is that we are Nigerians now. We're talking about Nigerians. The only difference is that we have different locations, but we can see ourselves. We can talk. And even before then, what is quite paramount and important is that we can only clamor for equality when our standard of living, the values we have, are still not at the same level. It's not commensurate. And the only way it will be commensurate is that the few privileged ones from this particular side should be able to drag in the rest. And that is why the race is so difficult for the foreigners to meet up with Nigerians, with other African nations, because the very few people that are there, the language you're going to speak with me is going to be different from the one a white man is going to be speaking. A white man, while trying to help, will also want to, like, I need to save my life. I need to understand you first. I need to understand how the Hausas think. And at the end of the day, if an Hausa man who has traveled to Canada or America wants to educate the people that you cannot continue to have children in tens, in double digits, because the demography of Africa is about to be affected and it's going to cause a lot of havoc. It's going to be very easy for an Hausa man who is truly passionate about the development, about saying the little time I want to spend on earth, I want to change my society, my community for good. It's not about you considering that if I can just take care of my brother, my sister, my mom, I'm done. Africans, we need to understand that selfishness is one of the reasons why we're not going to grow. Selfishness that we put up when we have an opportunity to travel to a better country, is the same selfishness that somebody amongst us get into politics, they start taking care of their family only. It's still the same mentality. Somebody like me, okay, now take for instance, during this pandemic, I got few coins on me, I got food at home, I look at people that cannot afford it. I shared until I couldn't have anything again. And it's basically because my mom, the kind of background, the kind of training she gave to me before she passed on, was she found it very discomforting, guarding things to herself while people are suffering. She will say to your face that she's not comfortable. If you give her money, she will remember who actually needed help a long time ago and start looking for them. So it's basically the same orientation that we all need to address. So it's not really about pumping money, knowing who should be. It's about you yourself playing a role. Even if you're not going to be there, this is internet age. You go virtual. Excuse me, when you're going for the show or when you're going to meet the people, can we do a Zoom call? Can we do a live show? Can we do this? And there are so many things that other people involve. It involves shipping materials. You can be online here and say, can I speak with the community? Can I do a video, assemble them? Okay, you know what you're going to do for me? I have this idea on how to decongest our community, how to make them live well. This is the idea I want to share with them. I need just one person. I'll give you wages. Set up probably a projector, and I'll connect through the Zoom because I am part of them. I will speak the language to them. I will dedicate my time. Worst case scenario, give each of them food or probably a token for the transport. Let me have them. Each head, okay, this street, tell them I need 2 people. This street, I need 2 people. They should send out the message. How many people are doing that? That is an NGO. That is a separate service. That is a message to tell them about human rights, that you cannot continue to be concerned. Like you see somebody doing this and you like, it's not your business. It is your business. If the life, the health, the safety, and the peace of the next person is being threatened, that is how you spread the message. That is how you do NGO. It doesn't have to be donating money. No, people are working here, they will donate themselves. Until when that education, that orientation circulates, that is when we can have equality. Equality will not come by fighting, protesting Black Lives Matter, when the real Black people, they neglect the people they don't want to even look back at them to get them free. They want the freedom in America, but they don't want the people free at home. They enjoy freedom abroad, they don't want the free, they don't care about the freedom people are not getting at home. Wrong.
What's given the issue on ground right now, especially that happened in America, but it's pretty much having like a ripple effect all over the world, all around the world. What is your take on that? Is it do you think, because I just thought that since it's having a ripple effect, do you think it's something that Nigerians should take on and actually now start demanding change in the nation of Nigeria from their politicians, government?
I'm going to repeat this again, and I want to believe my co-guest will concur with this particular nation. We're going to be having people in politics because they can't be vacuum, and that is the excuse. While these shuttlers, they are there occupying spaces, putting up all sort of, if you know what I know about what Nigeria is in the communities of the world, we are the second largest country in the world that have signed all the treaties in this world. We travel everywhere. Treaty on cocoa, we are there. Treaty on human rights, we are there. Treaty on repatriation, we are there. Treaty on women rights, we are there. Treaty on blood transfusion, we are there. Every treaty, our president, our leaders, they will travel because they need the extra code. But implementation is a problem. The people are not equipped mentally to implement or to support the implementation of all these things. And that is the reason why most of the people that we elected are weak because they look at, you need the people to be on the same page with you to actually bring in the policy and implement it. It's going to be very difficult now if they say, okay, if anybody is found, let's say for instance that if you are found calling anybody hawking food, any child, if you want to buy anything and somebody is hawking and you are there, you invite a child beyond the step of your front of your house into the probably your passage or the backyard, you have committed a crime. Don't be surprised if prosecuted. Hold on, please. The call came in. Okay. If the person is said, what you will find is tribalism. Then we start bringing tribalism instead of the neighbors to say, you know what the law says? Don't invite a minor to the backyard because she is hawking. If you have done that, I don't care if you are from my village, I don't care if you are bearing the same surname with me, you need to face the law. But trust me, we're not at that stage yet. And that is where we need to get it right. And that is why we need people like you, people like my brother. You need to focus your attention, like, where is my passion? Where is my field? I have been working since I got here. This is what I've been able. You have to put in mind, not sending money. So what value can I send back home? How many people can I inject this value into? That it will not be monetary, but it will prepare that person for a better place for that society. So that when you come back, you have even less work to do. You realize at the end of the day, you would wish to come back home and be safe. I can guarantee you, my dear brother and sister, the richest man in Nigeria cannot guarantee that 50 people in his family can have standard security. 50 people in his family can have best qualitative medical service. Meanwhile, you, that you are not from the richest countryman and family, your children have access to the best and the best health services. You have access to the best and the best security. That is why you are so comfortable, so relaxed than people like them. I don't want to mention it, but it's a shame on that set of people. Where are your family? Bring them out. They don't have what a common man has got on the streets of UK, what a common man has got on the streets of Canada, what a common man has got on the streets of America. That is a rich man because they have to work. We all need to come back to a society and make the society work. Everybody can't be running to be rich. You are not running to become a millionaire in Canadian dollars, but everything a millionaire have access to, you have it. If a millionaire can call the police and the police will answer in 2 minutes, you can. If a millionaire can say, I'm getting to the hospital and I would have to be on oxygen for 1 month, you can. They will tell you, young man, you are not rich, you are going to have the oxygen.
Okay.
How do you...
Mr. Austin, what do you have to say in regards to what Mr. Fabiyi just mentioned?
The truth is this: our system, Nigerians, over a lot of Nigerians are hypocrites. I felt so annoyed when I saw some pro-protest in Nigeria for an incident that happened in the US. Not that I am against any protest, anybody protesting anywhere. I'm totally not against it. But it is stupidity for somebody to abandon his house that is on fire, to go to another man's house, to go and be quenching a common a fire that is just starting there. For about 5 years now, there has been killings in the different parts of Nigeria, killing of innocent people on a daily basis. genocide goes on where they even kill and rape married women, even pregnant women, and even open their womb and even bring that baby, beheading people every time, almost on a daily basis in Nigeria. And these people that are protesting of somebody that died in the US, in Nigeria, that is not going to have any effect over there in the US, has not been able to come together as a people to say, to even talk less or even leading protests. That's hypocrisy. That's not just only hypocrisy, that's also stupidity on the part of the people, where you cannot think of how to put your house in order, but you're thinking of how to put another person's house in order. That's why I always say, people, there is no secret to success. There's only a system to success. And because our politicians know, our government know all this, that's why they've so bastardized the system. Even the NGOs, there's a limit to what they can do because of the system. Let me give you a case, for instance. You saw a lawmaker in Nigeria, a senator, that abused a lady in a shop where they were selling something about this sex doll. What happened to the senator? Is he not still a member of the Senate? He's still a member. What happened to him? Nothing. It was talk, and talk. Nothing happened. Because you and I cannot hold these people. It's only the system that can hold them account. It's only the system that can be able to punish them. That's why you see why people are scared of doing some things where we live. Is that whenever somebody is able to lay a hand on it, maybe a short video and bring it out, because there's already a system put on ground where even the politicians are even scared to even go against the system to an extent. But in Nigeria, because we don't have a system that works, the politicians only make laws for themselves. The law are only for the people and not for them. The laws. See, at least I was a journalist before I left Nigeria. I did journalism for how many years? Later, I worked in the crime department. If I tell you of what happens on a daily basis in Nigeria, even among the police, you cry for Nigeria, where a common politician can just come and tell them to arrest this person just because they did not agree with them. They will arrest the person and lock the person up, even put a very against the person that he knows not about. He knows nothing about. And if you go there to even think of how to even fight for the person, if you are not careful, if you are not killed, you will even be arrested. And nobody will come. Let me give you a story in my state, Edo State, for you. We had the former governor rule for 8 years. When he was going, another person took over. This is the governor that took over, and it's also from the majority. A man who is a technocrat is not a politician. When the traditional Nigerian politician who believe in sharing money and carrying party people and settling them, is not that kind of politician. His own is a technocrat. He believes on business. His name is Obasa, the present governor. Do you know how to speak today? Because when he became the governor, he totally took power from the talks in government. He removed revenue, which the former government put in the hands of the talks, where they collect revenue and use it to suit themselves. Where an illiterate who does not even have an SSC celebrated that he had 1 billion in account. That was not property. That's only the money he has in account, 1 billion. A talk that has never worked anywhere in his entire life. A talk that doesn't even have a certificate. Do you know today in my state, the talks and all the politicians have gathered together. Now they are bent on the governor will not return for a second time. Not because he hasn't done well, but just because he has refused to give power to these talks. When you see these talks come out on social media, do interviews and begin to talk against a sitting governor, condemning him, saying all sorts of nonsense and fighting all that, you begin to cry. Sometimes when I look at Nigeria as a country, I cry. This is somebody that has done a lot of crime. It took some other politicians to take him out of crime, out of that stuff. Today, he's still walking around in the streets after all the harm they've done to a lot of life, after a lot of life they've destroyed, and nobody to hold these people accountable. That's where the problem is. Even he's part of an NGO. He knows when he goes to the police station, he knows some of the challenges they face. There's no challenges they encounter. Within Nigeria today, there's little or nothing we can do because there's no system. It is a system that holds people accountable, not just only me and you coming. That's why when you come doing protests in Nigeria, or when you are able to even take a video evidence and you paste it anywhere, nothing happened to the people. You take a matter to court, a matter will be in court for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, for over 10 years. A matter will be in court. And at the end of the day, when the person is free, you that came out to expose all those things, your life will be in danger. A lot of people, why Nigerians are not bold to even report some cases or to even speak out when some things are happening, is because there's nobody to protect them. At the end of the day, they that gave that information to the police, they and their family will be more in danger than the person that committed the crime. That's how the Nigerian system is. So with such a system, how will you be able to encourage people? What will be the main thing that will make the people to be able to speak out, to talk, or to be able to fight for some of these things? Because they know at the end of the day, when I speak or say some of these things, my wife, my parents, my children, all my life is going to be a danger. You see a lot of people dying every day in the street of Nigeria, whether politicians, whether businessmen, and all that. These are people that you just hear they were killed. He was driving home, they just shot him. These are not just people that don't do this. These are people that are assassinated. You saw a old former major general killed in Abuja some months ago. Until date, a man that served this country with almost his entire life. As we speak till date, they've not been able to investigate anything. Nothing has happened. A young lady was raped and killed some days ago. He even mentioned the name of the young lady, Uwa, a university student. She was raped and killed with all the fingerprints in the ground, in everywhere there, where she was smashed with an extinguisher, her head smashed and blood everywhere. Inside even a church, as we speak to date, with the fingerprints and everything, they've not been able to even say yes. With the fingerprints in a civilized world, you should be able to get the people. We just the trigger, but in Nigeria, nothing. Even if they won't arrest them, what the security agents care about is to look for these small Yahoo boys on how to get money from them. Is to look for the poor people in the society on how to abuse them.
Oppressing them all over again. Yeah.
It's really sad. So why I encourage people sometimes, why I always talk to people to join the system, is because we are the people to make the change in the system. And until we make the change in the system to fix the system, nothing will work. There are two sides of government. One, you are elected into office to serve you. The other side is the other one that hold them accountable. And that's where the people are making the mistake. When the people that are supposed to hold people accountable are not the one praising the people that are supposed to serve them, you see that there's little or nothing that even the people that are supposed to serve them can do. Just like a master praising his slave. Somebody that is supposed to be your servant, you are not praising the person. The person automatically will become your God because he has seen your level of ignorance and they will begin to deal on that level of ignorance. For the case of Nigeria, there's a lot of things about our system, that don't go. And that is why my major concern has been on the youth. I thank you so much for a lot of things he's doing about this NGO. If you look at the youth of Nigeria today, they know nothing. They are not aware of anything. They have nothing to offer. What a lot of them just do is to look for the young girl the guys are looking for. They are into courtesan, thinking of one small fine girl where they shake, the way they go meet, looking of how to drink beer every evening, come out in the evening, now even this intends to do. Sometimes you begin to serve. If you must get involved in anything, first of all, you have to pick the interest. Even those of us outside the country, even most of us that are even, you ask, people do not have the interest of building a Nigeria that will work for them. Some of them just talk, some of them just complain, but ask them about their level of interest. It's not there. It is only thing that you are interested in. You will think of how to put your time on how to effect a change. How people only complain, but they are not fully interested in their heart of heart on how to build a Nigeria or a country that will be suitable for them. Because the way Nigeria is now, me and you cannot go to the north now to educate them. Because the way the northerners think is totally different from the way me and you think. That's why you see the society that works. They do things with the future. No, they don't just do things.
Sorry, we have to say goodbye to Mr. Yomi, but before you leave, do you have any last words for us?
I just want to say a big thank you for having me, and because I have another appointment. But Nigerians, we all have a role to play, and that is all I would say. I concur with everything my brother has been saying. We just have to play a role and then be on top of it. Thank you for having me, and to all my friends in Canada, I love you all. I appreciate you all a lot, and I can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you for honoring our invitation. Before we continue, just want to show a little brief clip on the about Mr. Fabiyi.
Can I leave while you're doing that, or you want me to?
Sorry?
Can I leave while you're doing that, or you want me
Definitely. You may. Tell me what? No, you may be dismissed.
Thank you.
So you guys, that's just a little clip of one of our ads called Just One Realtor. If you want to reach them, you can reach them on 234-070-64-795097 on Instagram at Just One Realtor, or then you can definitely send me a message. I will definitely send you a direct link. Don't forget to mention our names for discounted for your real estate investment in Nigeria. If you're looking for a land or you're looking for ready-made apartments, bungalows, they are definitely one to connect with. And let's continue our conversation, of course, with Mr. Austin. We have some comment from Taiwo Latuji that says, we need to get away from that slavery mentality. The system is broken. There's no accountability. We want to welcome Emi Oga. We want to welcome Akunola, Desi Odoe, Midola Dende. Want to welcome, Nameka Amaka. Welcome, darling. And we have Midola Dende says, thank you. It can be so depressing when there is no acceptability. So what do you have to say in regards to, definitely you said a lot in regards to the accountability, that was one of the issues we have in Nigeria. So like the issue what we had that happened in America now is because of there's a system in place for accountability. That is why the people who have done wrong are scared. Back home, like you mentioned earlier, they're not scared of anything, because even if you get it on 3D HD video, it doesn't matter. You're not accountable to anything. There's no system, there's no law that they're abiding to. So far as they're politicians, they're above the law. And we know that's not the way it's supposed to be. So, but knowing that the guest we have that is in Nigeria that can really give us that one-on-one insight is gone. What are your thoughts? What do you think we can do, or Nigerians can do, in regards to the system itself, trying to make sure that there's a system put in place? Do you have an idea what, especially as us Nigerians in diaspora, what should we be speaking to our families, our friends? What should we be advocating for in regards to making that change in Nigeria?
First of all, let me use this as an example. You watch the UK when they were going to leave the European Union.
Yes.
It was the people that did what? They went to the people, and the people, every citizen voted on how they're going to go and how they're going to go about everything. Even if not, maybe they went with the choice of the people, not with the will of majority of the people, but to an extent, they gave the people the opportunity to make decisions that have to do with the nation. But why I plead with Nigerians every day, whether in diaspora or why we also need to start moving on where they will let us even in diaspora to start participating even on our voting system and everything is this. When the people are not part of the lawmaking, they are not part of the decision making in their country. The people that make decisions will only make decisions that suit them and not decisions that suit the people. You understand? You cannot develop a people. A people will only need to develop themselves. no matter how anybody try to develop another person, because he's not part of that team. He will only do the things that suit him and not what suits the people. The reason why things work in other places and they don't work in Nigeria or in Africa, is because that the people are not fully involved in the decision making that has to do with their country. These things are what you demand. In Nigeria, they just look at about a month ago, where the Federal House of Rep were started working on a bill on how to forcefully vaccinate the people, because Bill Gates has been able to sort a lot of them, give them through the speaker some little stuff. You know, the Nigerians, politicians, how they behave. In a place you were not thinking of how to give the NCDC and the police the power to forcefully vaccinate the people, and the bill, such an evil bill, pass through the first and second reading in the House, and without even putting it to the people. That's a shame on the Nigerians. You see under this government, where they were even discussing on how to, what's his name? Is it Ruga also? On how to give lands to Fulani people. They were discussing those bills in the House. What doesn't interest Nigerians? You were discussing something that only interests them as a people because of their greed and their evil wickedness. In Nigeria, Nigeria is the only country where the presidential spokesman spoke, a presidential spokesperson was talking on a national TV. Femi Adesina, let me say his name, talking on a national TV when people are being killed and when they ask him questions. I think it was on Chinese. He said it is better for Nigerians to surrender their ancestral land than for them to be killed. And such a person is still working in the street of Nigeria. His consistency where he came from, people say allow him work. You dare not say that in a sane society where you are encouraging people to keep killing citizens, the citizens you are supposed to be serving. If such a person could speak on behalf of the government by saying such a word, it shows that the government has already taken side with the people that are killing freely in Nigeria, that is the one protecting them, even when we saw the body language of the government and of anything. So until we as a people get fully involved, and how do we get involved? Don't care about it. It is not the political system in Nigeria that is bad. There is no politics that is a dirty game. It is the people that play politics that are dirty. Politics is not a dirty game. It is the people that play politics that makes politics to become dirty. So until we join and begin to think of how to outnumber these people, we cannot change the political situation in Nigeria. And how do we? And if we must effect this change, what is a game of number? You understand? It's a game of number. And in Nigeria today, you'll be shocked to know that a majority, over 60% of Nigerians are not involved in anything else to do with politics. Over 60%. The people that are involved in this politics are not even are just in minority. How can you tell me just only a percentage of the minority are the ones that just do things with free will? Nobody to hold them accountable, nobody to ask them questions, and nobody to tell them anything. That's why they don't care. Because why would they not? Why would they care when the laws that they make for us, the hospitals that they build for us, they don't use it, their children don't use it, their family don't use it. The school that they build for us, their children will not use it, they use it, their families will not use it. Why would they think of fixing our roads where they don't fly in our roads, where they fly abroad every time? These things wouldn't work. Why you see, when it comes to things working in the US, in the UK, in Canada, and every part of other nations, it's because of what? If they don't fix the healthcare system, it's a big crime for the president of the US today to travel out of the US to go for anywhere, to go for treatments. The citizens will force him to go.
Although we have a comment from Dr. Kemi Osholake. She says, how can the masses be fully involved in making those decisions? And it seems the government is not for the people and the people need an uprising. But the problem is nobody is willing to die or lose a limb. So that's where the problem is now. Nobody is ready to change the system, but yet they're complaining about the system. So for you to stop complaining, we need to change the system. So how do we go about changing the system if nobody is ready to die for the system?
How do we change the system? Some of these things are not just only about, do you know these politicians? At least I'm a member of the APC, a card-carrying member of the APC. For the few times I play politics in Nigeria, if I tell you, do you know these politicians are scared of intelligent people? Let me tell you now. They are scared of people with ideas who can influence more people to join the party. When they see you like that, the first thing they begin to do is how to buy you over. When you refuse, that's when they start threatening you with all these court boys and all that and all that. That's the reason why they give these court boys an appointment, give them a lot of engagement to be able to make use of them. But let's ask, in a country, let me say by country of about 100 people, you have 4 people playing politics and they are the one taking decision, and those 4 people are bad. Just imagine if 10 of us now decided to join the political stage, and 10 of us are a force, and we agree on this is what we need. Do you know that we've outnumbered those 4? The question is, if people do not want to get involved, this one will say, I'm not the one to change it. This one will say, I'm not the one to change it. I'm not changing it. I'm scared you are doing. Who will change the thing when me and you do not want to get involved? We have the numbers to change these things. But the question is, are we ready to come in as a force to make this change? That has been the question. Some people are so over spiritualized everything that they've now become heavily conscious and heavily foolish. When it comes to the earthly things, in the things that has to do with their country, they are as foolish as anything. And one thing I always tell them, it is unlawful for God in heaven to come and do something on earth without the involvement of man. It is unlawful. God in heaven, God that created the heaven and earth, it is unlawful for him as a God to do something on earth without the involvement of man. Because once he comes to earth, he has totally given man the power to manage the affairs of everything on this earth. This place is the territory of man, not God. God will only do things here with the involvement of man. So until we as a people, we are ready to say we want to effect this change, no matter the prayer we are praying, that prayer is a waste. That's why even the Bible says faith without work is dead. So you believing on something without taking the right step, you are just wasting your time. So until we decide as a people and say we want to take the step to effect change, this change will not change. It is not prayer that changes things. It is your thought. It is your action. Even if you pray from now to tomorrow, food will not enter your table. If you don't put food on fire to make it on your gas to say, yes, I want to cook for it to go, your prayer will not make the food and prepare things and make it good. You are the one to prepare the process. However you want your food, however you want it, you are the one to put it on your gas. You use all the ingredients that you need and you prepare it to eat the way you want it to be for you. Nigerians just want something to be cooked for them, garnished and served on the table for them without them being involved at all. And it doesn't work that way. No. Things doesn't work that way. We Nigerians can be involved in the affairs of other countries, how things are being played out in other countries. Nigerians can sit down and discuss it. Nigerians can sit down and lead protests in other countries. Nigerians can think about to get involved in other countries. But what concerns their affairs in the country that they are never involved. Never involved. And I'm pain when I see them. See, the worst set of Christians are the Christians that see politics as a dirty game, that they don't want to get involved. That's the most foolish, and that's the most dumb set of Christians. That what concerns your country, where people can decide to make a law to even shut down church. Do you know the politicians can make a law today that they want to turn all our churches to a warehouse? Yeah. And once they make the law and they stamp it, it is ever. Even God himself, the Bible says, respect those in authority. The day you elect anybody in government, whether as a Muslim or as a Christian, whether as evil, whether the person is a devil, the day that person stays in that position, that's the day God backed up the person with the power of being in that position, because you elected the person into that position. So that's why I always get angry when I see them. Most of the things we pray about in Nigeria, they are not the product of witches and wizards. They are product of our stupidity, of our ignorance. It is not the witch that kill people, that make people die by accidents. It is the roads that are not bad. If your roads are bad, most of those accidents that happen on our road wouldn't have been happening. If the lights, there's power source supply. Most of those things that happen at night where you see robbers, there's constant power supply. This is what will not be happening. We've so spiritualized everything where they say, now which causes one, now which causes one. These things are not product of which. These things are product of stupidity on the part of our people. You understand? Yeah. This is our product of stupidity on the part of our people. Then until we decide to start taking decisions and start doing things rightly, a lot of things wouldn't change. A lot of things would not change at all. People do not want to be part of decision making, but they want these things to benefit them. what you did not know how decisions were taken, what actions were done, you want that thing to benefit you. How is that possible?
Let me hear. Welcome, Sean. Welcome, Emmanuel Abiodun. And we actually have, Kemi says, are there any current bodies that are active and gathering to implement change and challenge the status quo at the moment? Well, Mr. Fabiyi is gone. He's the one that would have been the best to give that response, but he did mention that there's very, very few. But like I said, Break the Silence Foundation is his foundation. And that's what they're doing. They're breaking the silence, letting people know that you have to start demanding change in the society. You have to start demanding it if you want to see change in the governance of the country. So you can check them out at Break the Silence. I believe they're on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm not too sure. I think the website is under construction at the moment. Break the Silence Foundation Nigeria, or Break the Silence Nigeria. But I think it's Break the Silence Nigeria or Break the Silence Foundation. You can definitely check them out on there. We want to say thank you. Let's round off our session here. We want to say thank you so much, Mr. Austin, for your time, for your contribution. Next time we're calling you, I'm sure you're going to be answering us. But before we let you go, I'm just going to show a little clip of course, Break the Silence Foundation that is Mr. Yomi Fabiyi is the CEO of. I'm going to show you a little clip of it, just a minute. I hope I did not close it down. I'm looking for it now. I think I might have closed it. Sorry guys, 1 second. Okay, let me just play this while I search for the proper one.
Germans, Japanese, Americans, Britons, French, they will not come and protest for us. Voting or paying tax is not a responsibility can take to change this country. That should be the end thing. We need to take off the economy when necessary. We need to sacrifice your time for a country that is not at war. And Nigerians every day, Monday to Friday, they kill several embassies. And majority of them are Ghanaians who travel and run away from this country. The reason for concern.
So there we have it. So that's actually is Mr. Yomi Fabiyi's Break the Silence Foundation. So you guys go search it out. Try to support in any way you can. That'd be great, because we need to start supporting foundations, organizations that are trying to make that change, and of course bringing the awareness to the citizens of Nigeria. Like you mentioned, this majority of, I think it said 70% of the population are unaware of the way the system is run in the country. And I believe most of them are in the north of Nigeria. A lot of them don't even know how to protest, or what to be protesting for, what to be asking the government for. And I believe when we see organizations that are trying to make that change and not just speaking, but actually doing the works, we should support them. Do you have any last words for us, Mr. Austin?
Even before I said, let me quickly say when you talk about it, even what he said about 70% is not even right with his statistics. For in the north, over 80% of the northerners know nothing. What they just know that this person is from the north, is part of their religion. They will just march and follow the person like zombie. They know nothing. That's the reason why people like us have been agitating for a very long time. That if Nigeria must still be one, we must go back to either our region, or we must go to true federalism, because they believe so much on the wealth of the south, the oil, which is not even their region. And they know that these people, because they've been able to overpopulate themselves by giving birth or letting people from other neighboring countries, from like the Niger and other, come in for them to use them for election. And after then, they will abandon them, they become a mandatory beg. Go part of Nigeria, you see them, they are the ones everywhere begging. That's a shame. Over 80% of the northerners know nothing about the politics, know nothing about the affairs of the country. They just sit down in the house of one politician, so sit down with fly and everything and begin to eat. Then for the south, the people have been so sold out to either courtesan, drinking, and stupidity. Even a lot of the ones that say they went to school. That's why I say it is worse to have the wrong set of education. It is better not to have education at all than to have the worst, than to have a wrong education, like the one we have in Nigeria, where people that will tell you that they went to school. Even as lawyers, you see them come out and be defending stupidity, defending this politician and all that. My last word for those of us in the diaspora, if we are thinking that any white man or anybody from anywhere from the part of the world can come and help us east Nigeria, even when we believe or not. Have you ever wondered why you see most of those NGOs have been sponsored by foreigners, the so-called white people? And you think what is being sponsored by these people, they have our interest at heart. See, everything in life is trade by barter. Everything in life is, if we can encourage our own NGO by we ourselves sponsoring them, that's when they can think of how to carry in our own interests. The truth is this: anything that has to do with Africa or Nigeria that involve the white man is not for our interests. They are working to keep enslaving the people for their own interests. Everything in life is trade by barter. Whatever you are investing on, you want that thing to pay a return to you, and you want to dictate the tone of that thing. They say, he who plays the piper dictates the tune. I can't be funding something and you expect that something to be working against me. It doesn't work. What they sold to us as democracy is not what we are used to. That's why I'm begging people to get involved, so that we begin to think of how to look for whatever we know we can do that will work for our own interests. Because what they give to us as Nigerians was to what they sold religion to us, not democracy. They sold tribalism to us. That's why when we talk of politics today in Nigeria, the first thing that comes to mind is tribalism. So why this person is not from their tribe, no matter how good the person, no matter how bad the person is, as long as the person is from their tribe, they just run after him and begin to pack after him, and leader, and leader. Once their tribal person is committing a crime, that is even totally wrong before the eye of God and the eye of man. Because the person is from their tribe, from their religion, they totally stand accused behind the person and not say anything. So we are the people now that are begging. We need to begin to take the right steps. For those of us in the diaspora, you see what is happening in the US, or even you see the white people telling you go back to your country. You see them killing our black people because the black lives do not matter to them. But how will it matter to them when we in Nigeria, we are even killing ourselves? Ask. How are you going to do a campaign in Nigeria? Are you going to say the black life, all life matter when we all in Nigeria are blacks, and when they are killing us with freedom? That's my pain. So if we gradually get involved, and some of these things are done, you are pressing that this person must go in for it. I'm pressing this person must go for it, and we outnumber them. Do you know at the end of it, this person will go back for it? And when these things start going, we'll create a fear in their mind that they will now be so conscious of doing whatever thing that they were doing before. So until we get to that level, a lot of things will change.
Thank you so much. I know it's so late over there where you are, but we just want to appreciate your time. We thank you for your insights, for your wisdom, and for those who are watching, please go follow his page. I know it's not much of a seeking followers, but if you definitely appreciated his wisdom, you can definitely go and follow his page, Austin Aiworo. Follow his page on Facebook. So we want to say thank you so much. Have a lovely night and a week ahead. Thank you. So yes, my friends, my followers, thank you so much for joining us on the topic of politics and humanity. So we've heard, for those who are just joining us, we know you've missed our guest, Mr. Austin, you missed our guest, Mr. Yomi Fabiyi, but definitely if you go back and watch the channel, you're going to see the program from the beginning. And do not forget to join us. Not just join us, follow us and subscribe to our channel, Adiba Connector TV. Please go on YouTube, Adiba Connector TV, and click the subscribe button. We need you guys to subscribe. It's going to encourage us. It's going to push us to continue to do what we love to do. And definitely don't forget my personal Instagram page, which is Ade_babes. And of course, our channels, Instagram, Adiba Connector TV on Instagram. Don't forget to follow. Don't forget to share our content. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. To give it a whole sum up of politics and humanity, they do come in hand. We shouldn't be separating them, because the whole point of politics is to be able to run humanity. And the society is what is going to determine what the government the governance is going to be about. So let's not sit down and relax and let the little few people who are up there make the decision that is going to affect the rest of us. It's not going to work. It is not right, because guess what? These very few people are only going to make decisions. So far as we've seen, this selected few people are very selfish people that are only thinking about their pockets and not thinking about the whole nation. And so we have to be very mindful. We have to be forthcoming, not just sit down and complain, but we actually have to put it in action. And not just those who are privileged, and especially those who are living in Nigerians in diaspora, we have to actually try to enlighten those who are learned back home, wherever they are. We have to enlighten them that, you know what, you guys need to get into politics. And we shouldn't say, oh, because we are Christians or we don't want our hands to get dirty, we shouldn't get into politics. And the fact that you're a Christian, the fact that you don't like dirtiness, the fact that you want to see the nation in a better place, That is the more of the reason why you need to get into politics. Because when you're in the politics and you're making this decision, you change the narratives of what the country is going to become. You change narratives. It was mentioned earlier in regards to the youths. A lot of the youths don't even care what's going on in politics in the country, and it's sad. And guess what? It's not just in Nigeria, but it's all over the world. But in some places, you actually see a lot of youths trying to make that change. And you can definitely see that even in America, when it comes to making the change concerning racism, you know, making that change concerning racism all over the world is having this ripple effect, because youths are actually standing out and for what they demand, for what they want. And that is what is supposed to motivate us in Nigeria, youths, to protest, stand out for what is rightfully yours, stand out and protest and demand that these politicians that are in seats are not qualified to be in seats. Their term has expired. It's time to have new minds. It's time to have the young minds to come and start doing what it needs, what that country needs at this moment. Nigeria is a giant. It's a giant of Africa, but right now we're not looking anything close to giants because we are so lacking behind. We have a lot of the countries, even in East Africa, that is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Even Ghana, in West Africa, that is really starting to step up their plate. So us Nigerians, what are we doing? We need to wake up. We need to stop complaining and put our backs into action. We need to stop complaining and waiting on Nigerians in diaspora to do much. No, I'm not going to deny that Nigerians in diasporas also have to do what they can to assist. But when we start seeing Nigerians in Nigeria actually taking all those bold steps to demand that change, then it will be so easy to get Nigerians in diaspora to support. It's just exactly like what's going on in America, to use it as an example. If those in America did not stand up for what is right, they did not stand up and come and demand the change, how is it going to have a ripple effect in Canada, in London, in where else? I believe there's some other countries. You understand? How is it going to have ripple effects? But because them that are in the country in America, they stood up and said it's time for change. They stood up and said it's time for change. Then guess what? The whole world had no choice but to listen. It's exactly what we Nigerians in Nigeria have to do. You have to stand up for a change. You have to say, no, enough is enough. We don't want to be bribed into anything. We want our future. Our parents, our foreparents, they've how do I explain it? They failed us. A lot of people have sold their future. They've sold it. So it's time for us, this generation, it's time for us to step up and demand change. If they're going to give you a token here, a token there, don't take the token. And if you want to take the token, take it, but still stand on the demand. Stand on the demand. Use that token to even support your cause. They have no choice but to listen. A lot of these politicians are old men. Old men. If not for the money they have in their account, they would have been dead long time. But at the end of the day, it's not even about that. It's about the fact that younger generations need to start doing what we need to do to see the change that we want, not for only ourselves, but the future of the next generations that are going to come behind us. So let's not fold our arms like our parents did. We are actually more exposed than our parents were. So we need to stand up and do something. Enough is enough. Let's stop complaining. We don't want to hear it anymore. We're tired of complaining. We're so tired of it. Let's get up and do something. So I'm still going to, on that note, I'm still going to say, support Break the Silence Foundation, by Mr. Yomi Fabiyi. Let's support foundations, organizations that are actually trying to do something. It's not just about following all these celebrities out there that are just trying to shake their bum and show their assets. All these brand names of what do you call it, vanity upon vanity. That's not what it's all about. We have to start supporting, following
people that are actually trying to make a change, not only in the country of Nigeria, but humanity as a whole. We need to know how to stand and support those who we actually need to support so that we can start seeing that change that we truly want. Thank you, my followers. Thank you, my friends. Kindly share, and go on my YouTube and subscribe to our channel. I appreciate you guys. I do not take you guys for granted. Once again, we want to say rest in peace, Majek Fashek. May the Lord give the family support during this time. He's a legend. He definitely also made his own mark when he was vibrant into wanting a change in the country of Nigeria. So we salute him. May you rest peacefully. Thank you so much. And before we go, of course, I'm definitely going to be playing a little bit of his song before I shut down the program. So of course, Send Down the Rain, Majek Fashek. Enjoy. Send down the rain.